like a fountain. You don't wanna plug and get the bag with. Baby, can you hold that? You know that I got Louis V for you and know that. Put you in the Hellcat, now hold that.
Pallet podcast is going to be lit.
Yeah. I want to change the way that properties are bought in the UK.
Everyone's competition. You're teaching your competition.
Yeah.
So you did a podcast with Andrew Tate.
His missus is worried. You just signed up for a 5-year uni course to learn drama. And I'm learning how to be smart with my money, and you're saying I'm getting scammed. 5 years later, I'm a property millionaire. They're a very dramatic McDonald's worker.
Welcome back to episode 5 of the Pallet podcast. We have an amazing special guest as well. We have Samuel Leeds.
Thank you.
Really
welcome
appreciate
to be here, man.
So my name's Samuel Leeds, and worth over £10 million. I own a castle. I'm not good at doing English exams. Maybe I'm not good at maths. But what am I good at? And I realised I was quite good at making money. What is it that drives you to keep doing all these videos and putting out this content? Because you don't have to.
That's a good question. It's a really good question.
If they cut off the supply of what you're leasing, what it does is it gives them complete control and complete
So guys,
power.
this episode has been sponsored by the Tattoo Numbing Cream. This cream has saved my life, I can't lie. It does exactly what it says. Tattoo Numbing Cream.
So basically, all you need to do is literally, it's a little tube, you put it on, you wrap it in cling film. What, an hour?
Yep, an hour before your tattoo session.
An hour before, you won't feel a thing.
Guys, I just got this done. In fact, my first session, I didn't use a cream, right? I didn't even last 45 minutes.
I think we might actually put a clip of here because he was struggling.
I was in pain. We'll put a clip in there. Yeah. Yeah, 10 minutes, I'm out the game. And I put this on, a couple of weeks later, got the full thing done, didn't feel a thing. This has saved my life. And guess what? I'm going to get more tattoos. And I have no pain. No pain, no gain.
So you can get this at www.tattoonumbingcream.com.
Or you can get them on Instagram, Tattoo Numbing Cream.
Come get it. Back to the episode. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
You've got like amazing tips, amazing advice, and I think you're perfect for this.
I appreciate it. Oh, I hopefully drop some golden nuggets and inspire people. Yeah, good.
So how are you finding it? Where are you at now? Like, are you doing your shows kind of thing? Just tell us a bit about you.
Yeah, well, right now is my day off. So this is me having a day off. You know, just chilling out. Yeah, but now buying a lot of stuff. Yeah, I bought 2 hotels in the last couple of months.
Hold up.
What?
Yeah, a couple of hotels. Just got planning permission on one of our factories to turn it into 48 flats. Buying a lot, bro. Busy.
Yeah.
Everyone else is scared though at the moment because of the market, so they're all afraid.
Yeah.
But
I was
actually,
just going to say that.
I feel you on that because I feel like a lot of people are holding back because they think that the market's going to go down. But I mean, it depends what area I feel like you're in.
Yeah, and it also depends on what your strategy is and what you're doing.
Facts.
So like the factory, for instance, I bought it for £1 million, but with the planning permission, once the conversion's done, it's going to be worth 6.6 million. So even if houses drop, even if they go down in the next 12 months by 10%, that's still 1 million to 6 million.
Yeah.
You know, so it's about rather than worrying about what the economy is going to do and listening to the newspapers, what you need to think is actually I create my own economy.
Right.
So how can I take control financially? And I think people are realizing now that with the cost of living crisis going on, having an average job and just doing what you're told and what you're told to do at school and what the media suggest you do, actually you're going to be proper screwed. Because if you're making £2,000-3,000 a month and the utilities are tripling, rent's going up, everything's doubling, you've got to make more money. You've got to think, actually, how can I become an entrepreneur? How can I start making more money?
Yeah.
And I think people are, and that's why my training business is actually blowing up at the minute, because even though times are tough, people are realizing they've got to do something different.
Yeah.
And how did you get into that, your training? Was that the plan from the start or?
No, not at all. So I started training because when I was starting out as an entrepreneur, there was a lot of people in my community that kind of judged me, or I'm from a Christian background, and it was like, oh, why do you want to be rich anyway? And there was a lot of stigma around creating wealth. And when I became successful, I actually set up a network to begin with, just to support people. And then it just sort of snowballed, and people started asking me questions like, oh, can I take you out for coffee and ask you about property? So in the end, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to hire a venue out, and I'm going to teach everything I know about property in one day, call it the Property Investors Crash Course. And that just took off, and, you know, I'm running a crash course tomorrow. And then the next day, over the next 2 days, I'll be training in person over 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Come into the events, yeah.
That's crazy. That is big.
So I say, let's take it to the start, like from the beginning. Let's say, what was your how did you do in school? What did you study? Let's take it way back.
Your first investment.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
My first investment was in Birmingham, and I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
But how I got into property was I didn't do well in school. And that's another thing about school. School's okay, and it's really difficult for me now as a parent because I'm thinking, how am I going to teach my kids? Because am I going to teach them to do what I did?
I feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
School didn't do anything for me.
Nah.
To come an entrepreneur and kind of go down that path, it didn't really do anything for me. I didn't learn anything. I mean, I learned stuff. I learned stuff
You learned how to write.
write and read.
Yeah.
But I mean, it didn't teach you the skills that you need today.
To actually live
in
life.
real life.
To live life and to live even just things like taxes or
Or
stuff like that.
how to run a podcast, or how to do creative design, how to set up a website, how to all these. That's what I'm going to teach my kids: how to create a website on Wix.
Yeah.
You know, how to create a website, how to market yourself.
Facts.
No, school for me was really rough. Everyone says that school was the best time of their life for me. I just used to just count down, looking at the clock.
Yeah.
You know, flicking glue, looking out the window,
Sniffing.
bored out my head. Not sniffing, flicking.
That was me.
Nah, never done drugs. But yeah, no, school for me was difficult. And at school, I think they teach you, don't they? They teach you to work really hard at school to get a good exam because that's going to help you get into uni.
Yeah.
And then go to uni, and then you finish uni, and that's going to help you get a job. And everything's geared towards getting a job. Everything's geared towards being an employee. So for me, I didn't go that route, and I left school. I was doing plastering. I was plastering walls, and I remember I was working on a house, and the builder, the guy that kind of contracted me to come in, whose job it was, he was saying to me, "This is going to be a HMO," and I was like, "Okay, what's that?" And he was showing me, "Well, this room's going to have an ensuite, this room," and then he was telling me how much the investor was going to make. He was saying, "Oh, the guy, he only bought this for 125 grand, and when this refurb's done, it's going to be worth this much, and he's going to rent this room out for this much, and this." And I remember thinking, damn, I need to be doing that.
Yeah.
I need to be doing that. I was only 16 at the time, and then I started going to property networking meetings and property seminars. Got my first house in Birmingham, turned it into a HMO. I didn't have the budgets to be, doing a big refurb, so I just sort of plastered it myself and painted it myself. Rented the rooms out without en suites. It was just a bit of a, I was like, oh, will it work? And it did. And I got the same kind of rent. I was getting about £350 at the time per room, and there's 4 rooms. And I was thinking, if I rented this house as a single, I'd get about 600 quid. I'm getting 1,400 quid. So this is interesting. And
17.
Yeah.
17, yeah.
What do you think of HMOs though? Now, there's a
I think
lot of
they're
regs.
amazing.
There's a lot of regs towards it now.
Very regulated.
Yeah, that's what we thought. We were looking into it, and then we thought there's a lot of regulations with HMOs.
I don't think it's that big in Scotland,
Oh man, Scotland's the worst, bro, for regulations.
All right.
But also Wales. I don't know if you heard about Wales. In Wales, Scotland and Wales are crazy places. I mean, I do like Scotland, how direct and savage they are when it comes to buying houses. It's just you want to sell a house, you got to get a survey first.
Yeah.
Which makes so much sense, because if you're selling a house, especially if it's an auction property in England, there'll be 10 people bidding, and they've all paid 10 lots of surveys. Why don't the owner just get a survey and give it to you? It doesn't make any sense. And also in Scotland, if you bid on a property or if you offer on a property, you got to buy it. There's no messing around. They're absolutely straight. Your word is your bond. You can't even do purchase lease options. So what I do in England is I'll buy a house, but I'll agree to pay for it in 10 years. So I'll take control of it and I'll pay for it years later.
So is that contractual?
You look shocked about that.
Yeah,
You're like, what? It don't work in Scotland. That's why, my friend. Scotland, you can't do it. In Scotland, it's
you're fucked.
Yeah. It's gone. No, but I was going to say in Wales, they've just said, I don't know when this is going to go out, but in May, which is next month, they've said that AST contracts, the standard tenancy agreements, are abolished.
Oh, shit.
As from May, they're going to change all of the tenancy agreements. And if you don't change the tenancy agreement, you're going to get huge fines. And the tenancy agreements give the tenants way more rights.
I don't know why.
They're abolishing Section 21, which is in England, which is if you want to evict a tenant, you can give them a Section 21. They're going to abolish those. So I think a lot of people as landlords and as investors right now are thinking, whoa, what's going on? And it's interesting times. Things are massively changing.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, rent is good, but it's just the hassle that comes with it. I've been scarred with tenants. Like,
Yeah, man.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. It can be horrible.
Do you prefer buying and selling, or do you prefer renting?
Well, the way I usually rent now is I'll do both. So I'll buy something, push the value up, and I'll rent it out to guests.
Okay.
So rather than putting tenants in, I'll be renting them to guests. So
Like Airbnb?
Like,
Do you mean-
yeah.
oh,
it could be Airbnb, yeah.
Okay.
But if they're on short stay lets, you're going to get a lot more rent, and the property stays immaculate, and the guests have got no rights.
Yep.
Because they're not tenants. The reason tenants have got rights is because it's their home. So you can't say to a tenant, you got to move out. They're banning no fault evictions. But guests don't have those rights. So it's a different model, but that's kind of what I'm moving towards. But yeah, buying and selling is good as well. I do a lot of that. Flipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd like buy and then rent and then remortgage.
Well, that's also
So,
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
But you still got the tenant at the end.
It's quite a slow process.
It takes forever.
Yeah.
It does.
It's a very slow process. It's took years, but it's like,
Yeah, it does.
it's then where do you go from that kind of thing? What would you suggest?
I would think you're doing really well. What you're doing at the moment is really
Yeah.
good. I would suggest instead of trying to get lots of properties, so instead of saying I need to get, let's say you did 3 deals last year, and you might be thinking this year I want a 10x. I'm going to do 30 deals. I would say that's a bad plan because doing 30 deals is going to be 30 times as much work.
Yeah.
So you're going to need 30 more resources, 30 more members of staff, 10 times more. Whereas what I would say is if you want a 10x, instead of trying to do 10 more deals, do bigger deals.
Yeah.
So if you're doing buy, refurbish, refinance deals, if you're like buying houses and doing them up and then refinancing them, maybe you could start buying pubs. Like you're in Newcastle, right?
Yeah,
Ish.
Newcastle. Yeah.
So I got a guy called Ryan Beaumont who is like a part of a boy band, and I worked with him. He just bought in Newcastle, actually not quite Newcastle, like Gateshead, which is right next to it.
Yeah.
He bought a pub for 120 grand, got planning permission to turn it into flats and a HMO. It cost him in total about 400 grand for the refurb and everything, so it's quite a big deal. But the value is now 700 grand.
Yeah.
So it's
profit.
but it's one deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same amount of time on that you could spend on a house,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
on a
Yeah,
50
for sure.
grand house.
That's
because
true.
big deals and small deals take the same amount of work. So I would say for you or for anybody that's looking to scale up, it's about doing bigger deals as opposed to more deals.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I've only got about 8 deals going on at the moment.
Yeah.
That's not that many.
it's less headache as well, isn't it, with solicitors and
Yeah.
investors.
Yeah.
Kind of, all
I'll make
stuff
that
like
hassle.
as well.
It takes about 3 to 6 months to get the keys.
Yeah.
Then it takes about 6 months to get the refurb
Oh,
done.
your picture just break into there.
What's that?
So I bought a place through auction, my first auction buy.
Okay.
And the deal was done. And then I asked for the keys. They didn't have the keys, so I had to break in.
Yeah, standard. No, I've heard that many times.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, we were surprised, but it was
standard.
fun.
Mate, that's standard, bro. They're like, the house is yours.
Yeah.
Where are the keys? No, that's standard, bro.
Is that not? Yeah.
Standard.
Jesus, I was like, this is not right.
What did you expect them to come and give you a bottle of wine? And here are the keys, a little ribbon on them. That is standard, bro.
Yeah, standard,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's standard.
What do you think of auctions?
I love auctions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are fun.
I buy a lot.
Yeah.
I buy a lot from
Stressful,
auctions.
though.
Yeah.
I get stressed.
They
I don't
are
know why.
stressful, but you know what as well? They're stressful deliberately. The whole way auctions are run. I mean, at the moment, auctions are more online at the minute.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
whole way they're created is to make you emotional.
Yeah.
Because the auctioneer knows that when emotions are high, intelligence is low.
Yeah.
And if there's a bunch of people that are all like, oh, and they're in a frenzy and they're bidding and bidding and bidding, the house is going to sell for a high amount. So the auctioneer, and also even in auctions, like if you're at a live auction, they'll say, right, you know, £200,000. Anyone starting at £200,000? Yes, sir, at the back, £200,000. There was no one at the back.
Aye.
There's no one there.
Right, okay.
And that's why you'll always see me at auction standing at the back of the room, just like looking around, hands in pockets. And they'll do that until it meets the reserve. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, there's already people bidding.
Yeah.
And it's all about emotion.
Just
But
a
when you
game.
go to auction, you just got to be like, right, okay. Number one, I'm going to get my legal pack looked at. I'm going to look at the house, get a survey, and I'm going to get my finance sorted. And I'm going to have a maximum amount that I'm bidding to. I'm going to get a really specific number. I'm not going to say 200,000. I'll say 203,000, and I'm not going to bid a penny above that. And if you go like that, then it's chill. Then
It's like
'cause
gambling,
calm.
isn't it? It's like you go to a casino, I go in with 20 and I can't spend any more than that. That's it.
Yeah, right. If you just say, I'm not spending more than £20, that's
Yeah.
it. It's the same. If you go to an auction, it's like, I'm not going to bid more than 200,000. And also, a lot of properties that we get from auction, we buy them after the auction. So we'll watch all the properties that don't sell,
Well, okay.
and then we'll
Okay.
approach them
Okay.
because they're usually like good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like in England, it seems like you guys get your finance sorted quite late. You get me? Like,
Okay.
compared to Scotland, like before I'm buying a place, I need to make sure like my money, everything's ready.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing like bridging loans, this, that,
Yeah.
whatever. Like
And
you said,
it's part of the problem though in England. How you're absolutely right. In England, people will put an offer on a house and they've not got their finance sorted,
Mm-hmm.
and then the offer's accepted, and then they'll go get their finance sorted, and sometimes they can't, and 3 months later they'll have to pull out, and it's just a disaster.
Yeah.
I want to change the way that properties are bought in the UK. That's my
What
goal.
would you do?
I'd make it more like Scotland.
Yeah.
yeah, straight to the point.
Straight to the point. No messing. If you want to sell a house, you have to get the house surveyed. You have to you have to get a valuation done on it,
Yeah.
and you have to provide that to any interested parties. And then the interested parties they don't have to think that because otherwise you see a house you want to buy and you go, I want to buy it, 200 grand. Then you go and get a subject to survey. Then you get a survey and you go, oh, I don't like this, and then you pull out.
Yeah.
Waste of time. Whereas if the seller does the survey first and says, look, here's all the information.
Yep.
You want to buy it, no problem. But you put an offer forward that's accepted, you got to buy it.
Yeah.
And you got a month. Or, you know, it's just much more strict. And it cuts all the messing around. Yeah.
Is that the same with you guys?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
in England.
What?
Yeah, okay.
In England, it's not like that.
No. Not where
Like, unless you buy from auction.
So you provide a survey?
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, you book a survey in.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
someone.
okay.
But if you're buying a house, the buyer is responsible for getting a survey in England.
Yeah.
That's mad. I like that though.
It's totally different. The
I like
rules.
that.
Yeah.
But in Scotland, though, they're
It's like selling a car without MOT.
yeah, right. Exactly like that. It's like selling a car and saying you have to put an offer forward and then go get MOT, then go get exactly like that. And then you get the MOT and you go, oh, the head gasket's gone.
Yeah.
Now I want to pull out, and it's
That's
just
the worst
absolute
one.
chaos. The property market is chaos, man.
Yeah. So like I've heard like a lot about like, do you know, like contractual based buying kind of thing. So like you like a property,
Yeah.
and then you write a contractual like agreement between you both.
Yeah.
I don't really get that though, because like me personally, I don't think I'd do it if I was selling my house.
What do you mean? What
So
do you mean
like, do you know,
contractual
like, so you can get like contracts where, like, say you agree with the seller that you'll buy it for this much, and then once it's refurbed, you pay them out after.
Oh, like an assisted sale? you mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
So I just,
Or at least
I
you're
just
talking about lease options. There's so many different types of
yeah.
contracts, bro. I'm
Right,
like,
okay.
there's so many different ways.
Because just like you were saying about you
Purchase
bought
lease
a
options.
hotel and everything,
Yeah.
but
Do you know
you're
what?
going to pay late.
I bought a hotel. Guess what I'm paying for it in 10 years? That's what I'm paying for it.
Who would agree? Like, is he
Loads of
like
people.
desperate to sell it or something?
Nah, man. They're chill.
What the fuck?
So how? Okay, you're asking us how much you bought the hotel for?
I didn't, but you can guess if you want.
So I thought you. I don't know.
But you don't know what it is or where it is, so it's
Yeah,
impossible to say.
yeah,
It's like
no,
booking a figure out the sky. £2 million. £2 million is how much I'm buying the hotel for
And then you pay that
in 10 years.
in 10 years.
And in 10 years' time, if I change my mind, I'll walk away.
What?
What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
send us over that contract.
You can do it in Scotland. In Scotland, it's called a delayed sale,
Okay.
and you can do it. What you can't do in Scotland is walk away. Whereas
Yeah,
in England,
yeah.
you can agree to buy it in 10 years, and they have to sell it to you. If any time between now and 10 years, I can buy it for $2 million. They have to sell it.
Oh, so it's kind of like it's reserved to you.
Correct.
Over 10 years.
Correct.
Right, okay.
I got 10 years to get my $2 million.
But between that, it's yours.
Yes.
It's not.
I have control, but not ownership.
Right, until you pay.
So guess what
that
I'll do?
$2 million.
Okay, that's.
So
that
I
makes-
will rent it out, make £250,000 a year profit, and then that profit every year that I'm making, I'll
could
save
say-
it, and that's going to be what I'll buy it with at the end. So it's like a free hotel.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, that makes sense now.
That's different.
Because I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, I've heard different stories kind of with like contracts and stuff like that. And I'm like, who would actually
Loads of people would
kind
do
of
it.
do it?
My first purchase lease option agreement that I ever did, I was about 19, 20, and the seller just had no equity in the property. So
Right.
his mortgage was 81,000, but the value of the house was about 80,000.
Right.
So he's trying to sell it, but he knows if he sells it and he gets the money now, all of the money that he gets, he's going to have to use to pay off the mortgage anyway.
Yeah.
So effectively, he's going to go through all the trouble of selling it, marketing it, paying the agents, paying the solicitors, sell it, and make nothing. So I said to him, well, I'll buy it for 81,000, but I'll buy it in 7 years' time. It don't make any difference to you because if I buy it now or later, you're not going to see any money. I'll take it off your hands. I'll take control of it. I'll take over your mortgage. I'll take over your debt. And then I'll buy it in the next 7 years. And he said yes. And that was my first purchase lease option agreement. That was in Block
17?
Switch. I wasn't 17. I was like 19. I think that was like around 2009, 2010.
Yeah. It's a lot different back then, though, isn't it?
No, it's the exact same.
Is it? I feel people are more aware now. Is this?
Oh, do you reckon it's saturated now? Is that what it is?
I don't think it's saturated at all. I think that
there's a lot of people doing it though, like property investment now.
But there's always been people doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like you're more aware of it now.
Yeah.
Because you're in the space.
Mm.
But people have been doing this for like decades. Yeah.
Because I'm surprised you're saying this. That happened when you were 19. Like,
yeah,
that's interesting. So, okay, so you bought your first place in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And then HMO.
Yes. Yeah, that was Maryvale Road. I was 17. That was my first one. My first lease option agreement was in Block Switch.
Right, okay. And then after that, how did it go?
I got loads of lease options. I just got loads. So the great thing about that like lease option is like that house in Block Switch I told you about when I was like 19. That house, the mortgage was £145 a month, but the rent was £550. So I'm making a few £100s a month.
Yep.
I'm saving that up. At the end of the 7 years, I got like 25, 30 grand, which is a deposit on the house that's 81 grand. But houses go up over time. So when I actually came to buy the house, it was worth 145 grand. Yeah. So I'm making money from the rent and I'm making money from the capital appreciation and I'm putting down £1 because £1 is how much you need to pay to make an option agreement. Pay like a £1 option fee. So it's just like, people don't know this because they're not taught it. But it's actually, we do it all the time. We do it with cars. If you go to buy a car, they'll say, do you want to do it on PCP?
Yep.
And you'll be like, all right. And what does that mean? PCP? It means put down £500 now and then pay 300 quid a month. And then in 5 years' time, you have the option to buy it or you can walk away. And you go, all right, it's no different with a house.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's so many options, I feel like now.
I feel like you make it, to me, like people think buying a house is such a hard thing. Like in Scotland, I feel like it's easier for us because the house prices.
Yeah.
But the way you're explaining it, it's like, it's not even that deep. Anyone can do it.
They can, but of course, it's stressful and it takes time. But I think that everything's hard. I'm losing a bit of weight at the moment, and I've realised that being slim and having like a good body is quite hard. But it's also hard being fat. It is. Like I was with my wife last year. We were in Dubai, and I was about 3-4 stone heavier than I am now, so I was fat. And I was walking along the beach, and I was like getting chapped legs, and I was tired. And then I just thought, man, it's hard being fat. Got back home. I'm in a boardroom eating, my chair breaks. Look bad on photos. Just an embarrassment. It's hard being fat, but it's also hard being slim.
Yeah.
It's hard being single, but it's also hard being married. When me and my wife got married, we were trying to have kids. And after a year of trying, it was like, maybe we're not going to be able to have kids. And it was quite hard. And then we had 3 kids. And that was also hard. Everything's hard.
Okay, now.
So is property investing easy? Is business easy? Well, no, but neither's having a job.
True.
Yeah.
Being rich is hard, but so's being poor.
I'd say like probably being employed is probably harder than being self-employed.
I think both are hard.
Yeah, both are hard, but I'd say like...
Yeah, and I mean, I was out for a dinner last night. We were at some Zimbabwean restaurant, and I was watching the waitress, and it was a really busy restaurant. She was like running around, serving everybody, remembering all the drink orders. And I was watching her, and I was just thinking, she's working proper hard, man. I'm going to tip her big tonight. She's working really hard. But the thing is, imagine if she worked that hard on building a property business.
Yeah.
So people sometimes think, oh man, my job's really hard. I just want to get into property. It's going to be really easy. I make loads of money. No. Whatever you do is going to be hard.
Yeah.
But you just got to choose what kind of hard do you want.
Yeah.
Do you want to be rich or do you want to be poor? Because both are going to be hard. And my life's hard, man. I live a stressful, high pressure
I feel like
life.
property is very stressful.
Everything. And running a training business is even harder.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, because you have to please everyone, I feel like.
Yeah, it's hard. Everything's hard.
Yeah.
So
Even just getting work done to the properties, like people not turning up. That's like the stressful part for me, man.
People not turning up.
Yeah, have you got a team?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I've got a great team. But talking about people not turning up, you didn't turn up on time for this podcast, bro. So
Yeah, you got
dug
me.
yourself a hole there.
no, you know what's interesting though? When I started out in property, here's the interesting thing about the times, right? If I used to fill all my own rooms, so I'd be like texting the tenants and booking appointments. If I booked an appointment in 2009 to show a prospective tenant around a room, I'd book the appointment. I'd say Tuesday, I'll see you at 3, and they'd be there at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Now in 2023, if you book an appointment, you have to confirm every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If you book an appointment for Tuesday at 3 and then you turn up at Tuesday at 3, they're not going to be there. And you'll call them and they'll be like, oh, you never confirmed. The whole culture has just changed towards people just doing what they say.
Yeah.
Just changed.
Yeah.
So it is harder.
That's so true.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah,
And I know you missed your flight. I was only playing. And you still got here. You still got here pretty much on time. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
That was
So
good,
it's
you know.
cool.
Yeah,
It's
that
calm.
was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
London's a mad place.
What advice would you give your like 19-year-old self back looking at now? What advice would you give yourself?
Well, I'd say you're going to be really rich.
Hey, I like that.
Do exactly what you plan to do, my friend.
Yeah.
Probably to care less what people think, because building a business, you do put people's nose out of joint sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just part of, it's just part of, people don't like seeing other people succeed.
Yeah.
And even people that were my friends, I realized this, that your friends want you to be successful, but just not more successful than they are.
That's so
I
true.
totally
That's
agree with
facts.
that. Yeah.
So,
That's
so even when you become successful, even your own friends are going to get peed off. So, yeah, just to be focused, focus on what you're doing, and don't worry about the opinions of other people. So obviously you got to listen to critics, but don't be worried about everybody liking you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have somebody that would turn around and, even if they were like a loose friend, and they could just be like, oh man, they could talk about me or whatever, and I wouldn't even care now. My skin has grown quite thick
Yeah.
over the years.
Do you feel like you get a lot of hate?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, it's all relative. The way I look at it is every hater that I get, I've helped 100 people. So yes, I get a lot of people on social media, or I might get like a story online about me, or there's not a particularly great story, but again, if you're going to be putting yourself out there, the
bigger you get, the more hate you get.
Yeah. I mean, name a great person in life that was never hated. Muhammad Ali used to get booed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the Whitney Houston movie recently, and she was getting booed. So Jesus was crucified. So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting hate, what's going on? Well, it's probably because you're doing something great.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, you're good, because I'm not gonna lie. Okay, when I first seen you, I was like, "What's this guy on?" You get me? Like, he makes it look too easy. So,
this is, I think, the thing was us, isn't it? Like, I'm a bit I think we both said before, we're a bit skeptical of these, the courses, and I think it's because we've gone down a different route to that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's, I don't know. We said before, didn't we? It was just I just don't quite get it.
Yeah, I don't, because the way we've did it, it's you work hard, you save up some money, you buy a shit place, you get me, you do it up, sell it, and then that's it. You get me? That's how you make money.
Yeah.
But I feel like the way you made it look so easy, I was like, what's this guy on? You get me?
Yeah,
but meeting you, you get me? I'm signing up.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? My job as a trainer is to make things simple. If you wanted to learn to drive and you got in a car with your driving instructor and they were like, right, you got to look at your mirrors every 5 seconds, and you got this and this gearbox, and they make it really complicated. Oh, and this car is a manual, but we also have automatics where it's different. A driving instructor could very easily, if they wanted to, if they were talking to a brand new person that didn't know how to drive, they could make it look really complex. And all that would do is make the driving instructor look really clever.
Yeah.
And it would make the person unable to do it. And in the same way, if I'm teaching people property, which is a very complex thing, it is. It's there's so many different aspects to it. if I'm making it really complicated, which is what a lot of property professionals do, they'll deliberately make it really complicated because they're like, I spent 5 years at university learning about surveying, and they don't want to make it simple because then they're almost discrediting the fact that they spent 50 grand and spent 5 years of their life learning at uni. My job is to make it simple. My job is to break it down, make it simple, because it's only when you actually start doing it when you really learn it. You can't learn something by reading a book. You can learn the theory, but the only way to learn to drive is to drive. And with my training courses, what they're about is I'll do YouTube videos and stuff, and I'll break it down and make it really simple. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And you might look at that as someone who's in property and think, oh, it's not that simple. But actually, that's just for the common man. That's for the everyday person to go, I get the concept. I get the concept of BRR. Now, obviously, there's more to it. Then when you come to a training program, what we do at the programs is we just do it. So we'll pick up the phones, call the agents, speak to the bridging finance companies. And as people start doing it with an instructor with them, helping them, assisting them, that's when they really learn to do it. So the training programs, I run a lot of programs. What we do, even though there's a lot of people there, is that's when we start actually implementing, finding deals, talking to investors, building a power team. And then the mentoring, we have mentoring programs that last like 12 months. That's where we hold
one-to-one, is it?
Yeah, one-to-one, yeah, one-to-one. And that's where they get 12 months of unlimited one-on-one support, where if they have questions, problems, issues, they can pick up the phone, book a call, and talk about their problems. So can you be successful without the training? Yes, you can. But what you're going to do is by doing the training, you're going to just massively speed up the process. And rather than learning from your mistakes, you're learning from other people's mistakes.
Because I feel like I'm not educated in properties at all. You get me? I just find a place that's rubbish, make it look good, sell it for more. But the more I'm watching, you get me, your YouTube videos and that, I feel like
that. I think in life, I've come I don't trust anyone, and it's kind of like everyone's competition. And I just feel like you're teaching your competition.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's why I can't wrap my head around you're doing these £1 million deals, but then you're teaching other people to do £1 million deals that could cost you more money.
It's really true, man. Well, I'll answer that. So the factory that I mentioned that we just got planned to turn to 48 apartments, guess who found that? One of my students.
Oof.
Right. And then you were an investor in it?
No, it's my deal.
All right.
So I was running a training program called the Deal Finding Extravaganza, £2,000 program. One of my students came to me on that program and said, I found this factory. What do you think? And I was like, yeah, looks interesting. Called the owner. They called the owner, booked a viewing, did a bit of market research on it. It was a big factory, £1 million deal. They then said to me, this is too big for me. I'm not able to really take this on. What do you want to do? I ended up buying it, paid them £20,000. I'm going to make $2 million.
So $20K you paid them for finding it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to phone every factory.
But so again, rather than and I understand what you're saying, but rather than thinking from a position of competitively, I want to be competitive. I don't want people to know what I'm doing. I'm thinking as a more collaborative. If I show people what I'm doing, people will join the journey. If I teach people how to do what I'm doing, they'll do it in their own areas. Also, I can't do every single deal in the world.
I feel that. I feel that.
And I want people to be part of the journey. I want people to be able to bring me deals. I want to be able to collaborate. I want to be able to partner up. And so I'm more thinking collaboratively as opposed to competitively.
So like a team kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
I feel defeated, man. I'm
That's
not
good.
gonna lie. I was coming here I'm gonna challenge Samuel Leeds. I'm gonna expose him. But bro,
because you're asking the questions that people might be thinking.
I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Because to me it seemed like you were like a salesman. You get me? Just
I am a salesman.
But see, I'm a businessman, so I'm like, why?
But you can't be a businessman without also being a salesman.
Yeah, I know.
Because sales equals money.
Yeah. Sometimes you find it too good to be true.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
That's my theory. I listen to some of it and I'm like, me and my brother are always being skeptical. So we're like,
not a bad thing.
It must be full of shit. That's what we used to think, and we were like, so it's actually good to kind of get the ins and outs of it, kind of thing.
Man, I think we're fucked here. Nah, I'm.
No, it's not a bad thing to be skeptical, though. You don't want to be so open-minded that your brains fall out, and it's good to challenge things and push things and to be skeptical. And we teach, before doing any deal, you should always. I'm not even a positive person, I don't think. I think that in business you've got to be negative as well. You've got every time you do a deal, you've got to look at what's the best case.
Yeah.
What's the likely case and what's the worst case?
Yeah.
What's the absolute worst case? What could go wrong? What are all the risks of this project? And then you look at all the risks and then you look at the reward and then you weigh up what you think and then you invest. And you never invest more money than you can't afford to lose. And you start small and you'll learn from some of your mistakes on the small deals and then you'll slowly gradually build to big deals. It's the same with training. Like I wouldn't say to somebody, invest in our top end mentorship for a whole year. Like my first course that we run is £1.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're a bit skeptical, you can invest £1.
Yeah.
You can invest one day out of your diary, £1, do that, and then maybe go on a £1,000 course and see how it goes.
What does it go up to? What's like the highest?
12,000.
Is it?
And is that one-to-one mentoring?
Yeah, for a year.
Right, okay.
Right, okay.
That's the most expensive thing that we offer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the most effective, or would you say?
Oh yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Because I think when you've got 12 months of like accountability and people on your case, and also its environment, I think the biggest thing I would say about being successful is being around people that are also doing deals.
I hear that a lot. Like,
so
make
true.
your circle like with the same mindset as you. But I think what put me off is I don't know if you do this or not, but the thing that put me off was. I saw like a couple of like videos and stuff, like, do you know where they do like, I know it's good, but like, do you know, like positive like team bonding and stuff like that. I mean, it's good, like, and they do like,
it can be a bit cheesy.
Yeah, that's what I found. I found it very cheesy and stuff like that, and I was like, I ain't falling into someone's hands.
But you know what though? You can be really cool. I'm not holding someone's hand. I'm not high-fiving. I'm going to be really cool and broke.
Yeah.
Or a little bit over the top, a little bit cheesy, a little bit American, and really rich.
Yeah.
I know which one I'd rather be.
I get what you mean.
I feel like nowadays it's just entertainment because like, is it real?
I suppose it keeps it fun.
It keeps it fun.
We do a lot of things that you could call cheesy in our training programs. Like every 20 minutes, if I'm teaching, I'll be like, turn to your neighbor, give them a high five, and say you're awesome. And people sometimes I can see them like. I'm gonna say. The point is, like, I'm teaching, but I'm also making sure people are engaged, people are awake, people's bodies are moving. Sometimes I'll even, after a lunch break, people come back in. I'll say, everyone stand up, have a stretch, and some people are like, oh, this is cheesy, but no, because if your body's, moving and active, your brain can take in more. But ultimately, my goal when I'm training. Is not to try and create like a raw environment. My goal is I'm trying to actually get a message across, and I'm trying to get people to actually implement and be successful.
Yeah,
and
that's what
that's the main goal.
Me and my brother were like, we want to learn like other stuff there, like properties and stuff. So when we saw that, we were like, oh,
yeah.
I just want to be more educated. No, I just want to learn.
I think
new things. Just like you're saying, you can pay later. Like you get like all that. I want to learn. How you...
But that's the best way. If your goal is to buy houses and refurb them and push the value up, you're only going to make so much profit margin in doing that, because anyone can do that.
Yeah, anyone
can buy a house and put a new kitchen and bathroom in and make money. But I'm thinking, how can I really maximize the value? How can I push... And to do that, you're going to need to do things like, for instance, get planning permission.
Yeah.
To do to build at the side. Now you get planning, that's where profit is. But to do that, you're going to need people around you. You're going to need planning consultants. You need to understand how it works. It's like any industry. If you want to be a doctor, you got to go to doctor school to figure. If you want to be an electrician, you got to go to an electrical college to figure it out. And I think property, I don't see why it's any different. I don't know. There is a bit of a stigma. Some people are like, oh, property course, what the hell? But it's like, well, hang on. This is one of the most lucrative professions on the planet. Yeah. If you want to learn to do it professionally and properly, why would you not invest a few thousand in yourself before investing hundreds of thousands in property?
Saying that, you spend $9,000 a year on uni. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
But that's acceptable though, because the media and the government back that.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh yeah. I had people laughing at me. I'd go to a property course and spend like $2,000 when I was like 18. And my friends would be like, oh, what are you doing? You're being scammed. I'm thinking, you just signed up for a 5-year uni course to learn drama.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, who's
my
being
God.
scammed?
Yeah.
You're putting money into a lifetime ISA and a help to buy scheme, getting absolutely raped by the government, paying taxes before you've even seen the money. And I'm learning how to be smart with my money, and you're saying I'm getting scammed. 5 years later, I'm a property millionaire. They're a very dramatic McDonald's worker. Facts, that's the reality, man.
Dramatic.
That's the reality of it. People that finish university and they go and study psychology or geography or some dumb stuff like that, and then they end up and
so
everyone
true.
claps them and pats them on the back. Oh, my son's at university, and then they finish and then they're working in retail, but they're very good at geography.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That is so true.
And they got to pay the money back to the government anyway.
That's kind of like my dad. He like kind of pushes into doing plumbing and stuff. I don't get me wrong, it is a good trade, and I still do it now
Yeah, no.
because with the houses and stuff. But like that, he's like push 9 till 5. Go, like you need to go and get your minimum wage and stuff like that. But like I always used to say to him, like, I want my own business and stuff. So it's kind of like, But he never really understood that because he was the generation where you go out, you work your ass off, and you get paid fucking £6 an hour or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
and that worked 20 years ago.
Yeah.
If you were in a job, the wages have hardly gone up. That's the thing. 20 years ago, if you were making 20 grand a year, which you could easily do, you could live in a beautiful house. You could have 2 cars.
Yep.
Now, if you're making 30 grand a year, you can't do anything.
You can't even live, I don't think.
You're just getting by.
Yeah. You can
mad.
barely pay your rent and bills.
Yeah.
Utility prices have tripled. Energy prices, petrol,
Especially if
flight prices.
if you live in London or even like Newquay, like they're expensive places.
I feel like London. How do people survive though?
It's tough.
Because I feel like people just work to just live. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll pay £1,000 in London for like an absolute
bed.
tiny little studio, which is
Yeah, I
damp.
think
and-
I did some like on Rightmove. I just typed it in and I was like, "Holy shit, this is bad."
You're not. Do you live in London or
It's
just
just outside, yeah. I live in
okay.
Beaconsfield,
Right,
which is
okay.
20 minutes on the train from Marylebone.
Right, okay.
So it's close.
okay.
Yeah, it's close, but it's expensive. Like the
Yeah.
houses in my area, I think it's one of the most expensive parts of the UK.
Is it?
Yeah,
Shit.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
Going off topic, I did see you doing boxing. That's really good.
it's hard.
Very hard.
It's hard being fat as well, though.
It's hard boxing as well.
Yeah, everything's hard.
How are you finding that?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm a couple months into the training, so I've got like 3 months before the big fight, and we've sold like 1,500 tickets so
Amazing.
far.
Less now than when you walked in that door.
Prick. Fucking prick. Come on.
Watch the equipment.
Yeah, that's probably
We need to go. We need to.
Yeah,
Where is
I know.
it? Where is it?
1st of July
Okay.
in Essex.
Okay. Sweet.
Oh, that's wicked.
Yeah, that's-
so who are you fighting again? I forgot his
A
name.
guy
but
called
he's-
Rob Moore.
Rob Moore.
Yeah.
He's like the rival. Kind
No,
of.
not really. He's finished. He's done.
Oh, he's
he's
finished?
like, yeah.
Is it in properties?
He is, yeah. He's like a retired kind of guy that now does podcasts and stuff.
Right.
All right.
You know, so anyway, I
Don't
mean,
like him.
we're not mates. We're not mates. I don't hate the guy.
That's good in a boxing match, though. At least you got some hate to him. I feel like that.
We're not
need
mates.
that.
And yeah, he's just like, you know, he's quite old and skinny. But the interesting thing is, he's a black belt in kickboxing. So
Okay.
he's done like a lot, and he keeps himself very fit.
Yeah.
So in his mind, just because when he challenged me to fight, I was like fat, and you know, I'm kind of like just cheerful, chappy. So he was like basically thinking he'd batter me because he's a black belt in kickboxing. But it'd be nice to prove to people that actually not only can you get in shape, but also you can learn to box in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope to win that.
Being the
I'm sure I
underdog's
will.
dangerous. Like, I feel like we always say, like, we support the underdog because, like,
100%.
you don't know what they're capable of.
Yeah.
Facts.
And,
Yeah.
like, when do you think this kind of fitness journey started? Was it kind of, I think I saw you did a podcast with
Here, bro.
Andrew Tate.
Appreciate it, man. What's life? What are you doing at the moment?
I'm here, there, and everywhere. 5 flights a week, you know, just trying to stay above water and fight
Yeah.
to make
And he give you kind of some advice.
Yeah, he did. He was great, actually. I mean, what did he say to me? I think he said something along the lines of, because we spoke a lot on camera and off camera, but I think he said something along the lines of, if I woke up one day and was in your body,
Yeah.
in other words, fat, within 6 months, I'd have my body again.
Right.
And it reminded me, because that's what I think about people financially. When people come to me and they're broke,
Okay.
Yeah.
and they're moaning about, oh, I've got no money, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. I'm thinking, if I just woke up one day in your situation with your bank account and your connections, within 6 months, I'll be rich again.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me think, maybe he's right. He probably is right. Maybe I need to start having completely different habits
Yeah.
to get a different result, So yeah, he started me off and he was messaging me on WhatsApp and giving me guidance and plans and stuff like that. And then he went to prison.
Yeah.
How did you guys connect?
Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but I noticed he was following me on Instagram like before he blew up.
All right.
Okay.
So we spoke a little bit on Instagram, and then we met up in April 2021, which is just at the beginning of his like massive rise to fame. And then when he blew up and became the most Googled man on the planet, we met up and did an interview, did a podcast.
Yeah, I watched it. It was good.
Which was really good. And and then he went to prison shortly after, which is just like crazy. I can't believe really. To me, it feels really inhumane, the fact that you can lock somebody up with no evidence, with no charges.
Yeah, I mean, he's been locked up for quite a while.
Yeah,
I thought it was
maybe for a
120
week.
days.
For a week, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, we think that you might be guilty of this and the other. We're going to put you in prison while we investigate. But like month after month, it just. I mean, I don't know the full details, but to me, it just seems really bad. And
I feel bad for him. Like
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I really hope he comes out and has some good stories to tell.
Yeah.
You'll be bigger though.
Sometimes that
big.
makes someone even more mind powerful.
Yeah, but
like,
it's easy for us to say. But most people, if they spent 6 months in solitary confinement, they'd be crushed.
Oh,
They'd come out completely
I know.
broken.
Yeah.
Nah,
So I'm praying for him and hoping he comes out stronger through it. He's a tough man.
Yeah.
But he's also human, and what they're putting him through is just absolutely, and the media just absolutely trashing
Yeah,
him.
media don't like it. Well,
No.
don't like anyone, do they? Like, I think.
Not unless you sing to the exact same tune.
Yeah. Oh,
Facts.
yeah. You say something
Facts.
different and they attack you
Yeah,
straight away. And then
yeah.
it's on about fucking 7 papers.
7 what?
Like, do you know paper articles kind of thing?
Oh,
Media and stuff.
I don't know anything about that. I don't know. I don't even read the newspapers, man. I don't know anything.
Neither do I, but
I only read the newspaper if I'm in it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
even then, I
that's
don't usually read it. I just
Did
skim
you know,
it.
I just look at the photos. I don't
So
even
I'm like,
read
oh, I
it.
look quite slim on that. Thanks, Guardian.
or they get you when you're looking awful.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
I
me
hate
though,
that.
I don't think they care because I'm not like a fashion guy or anything. I mean, for me, it's like, normally when I'm in the papers, it's normally good,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's a bit mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get them. I get them sometimes.
Yeah.
As well.
So,
Just-
so who would say is your mentor? Like, who do you look up to?
So my first mentor was a guy called Tony Crook. Even my friends were like, "Why are you paying him money? His name is literally Crook." You know, he's still my mentor. Tony Crook. He's still
okay.
my mentor today. My business mentor.
Okay.
And then I've also had different mentors along the way. Grant Cardone has mentored me, so I've had quite a lot of mentoring with Grant Cardone. And then also my team, like my mentors are my accountants, my solicitors, my financial advisors and pension planners, and these people I pay them a lot of money and they'll consult me and mentor me. And sometimes I'll lock myself in a room with somebody like a planning consultant, and I'll be like, right, they charge, or an accountant or solicitor, and I'll say, right, what do you charge per hour? £1,000 an hour. Cool. I'll spend 10 hours with them straight, picking their brain, and at the end of the 10 hours, I've spent 10 grand. I could summarize what you said in 10 hours in 10 minutes. Then I'll go do a YouTube video, and I'll do a 10-minute YouTube video, which is literally £10,000 worth of value. And then in the comments, people are like, oh, that's not true, or scammer. Broken mentality, man.
Yep.
Someone making millions of pounds, paying tens of thousands to learn stuff about how to be rich, and then dropping a free YouTube video explaining exactly step by step what the information is. That is to be treasured.
yeah.
Sometimes I just think I just won't post. But then there's enough people. Then you got to remember, actually, no.
There's people out there that do value
There is.
that.
Yeah,
I get stopped in the
yeah.
street constantly. People come up to me, "Oh man, I just bought my first house because of you," or
Yeah.
"I just left my job. I got a property business." So you gotta focus on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people in Britain are so broken minded. I mean, in America, I was in America last year and I was driving around like nice cars, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and people were literally coming out the houses to clap me.
Oh, shit.
Then I'd be in California, I'd be going into a car park, and all the security guys would come over and they'd be like clapping. I'm like,
Yeah.
at first I was like, what's going on? Wow, nice car, man. Respect.
Wow,
You're in
right.
Britain in a nice car like that, and people just like,
Just start throwing eggs. Or
Just,
Yeah.
You won't have the car.
yeah, different mentality.
Yeah,
the mentality
definitely.
is if you're rich,
I feel like a
You've
lot
done
of it's jealousy though. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, because they'll be like, "Oh, you must have robbed somebody, or you must have
drugs.
inherited
Everyone,
Yeah,
drugs.
drugs."
Yeah,
Even when I was
yeah.
at school, I got that. People
Yeah.
saying I was on drugs because I was like selling stuff at school, making money, and it's drugs. Yeah, it's crazy the mentality. But you can't be successful yourself while hating on successful people.
Yeah.
So do you come from like a wealthy background,
No.
like a family?
Not at all. Parents split up when I was 7. My mum a mobile hairdresser, and grew up with my mum. Nah, no money at all. Like skint.
Are they in properties now?
Yep.
So,
Well,
are
not my
they?
dad.
Okay.
My mum is.
Oh,
She's
sick.
done well. We've done a lot of joint ventures together as well. She just moved as well to Beaconsfield near me.
Oh no.
Oh,
In
bless.
fact, I moved my whole family over.
Yeah.
I just bought my sister a house
Oh shit.
as well. Just bought that outright. Bang. 5 minutes down the road from me.
Easy.
I got my brother, in-laws, my other brother and wife and kids, and there must be about 20 of us now.
Yeah.
Everyone moved.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That's good. Like I feel like that's what you aim towards, isn't it? Like
No, facts.
was that your intention when you were younger to aim towards kind of getting your mama house and
Nah, my
No?
intention when I was young was to just survive, bro. Like,
Yeah.
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 I would have never. I think another thing about goal setting is I don't think about too far away
Okay.
Right, okay.
because a lot of people say like, "Oh, my 10-year plan." I'm like, don't even have a 10-year plan. You want to have like a 10-day plan
Yeah.
Mm.
because if you have a 10-day plan, you're actually going to do it
Yeah.
because it's so close. People perform well under pressure.
Mhm.
So this whole idea, you know, when you're at school and you've got 6 weeks summer holiday and they give you a bit of homework, you wait, don't you? You do it all at the last day. And so you've got a 10-year goal. My goal is I want to be a millionaire in 10 years. That means you're going to just relax for 9. So if you've got a goal, rather than to be a millionaire in 10 years, it'd be much better to say, my goal is to make an extra £2,000 in property as a deal sourcer this month.
Yeah.
And if I don't do it, I'll die. That's how I'm going to act. And just focus on now, getting stuff done now. And then when you do it, then you can think, okay, now I'm going to set a slightly bigger goal and just keep constantly stretching yourself. I think that's a much better plan than having like a 10-year goal.
Yeah.
So no, when I was younger, I never thought I'd end up being a multimillionaire and buying my family houses. And I never thought that. I was just like, I want to get my first deal.
Yeah.
Man. As a teenager, I want to be able to hold the keys in my hand and say, I own that.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
goal.
yeah.
And then when I do that, right, now I want 3 more.
Yeah.
Now, I want to be a millionaire by age 25. I want to be, it's just pushing. But when you climb a mountain, we were talking about climbing mountains earlier. If you look at the top of the mountain when you're at the bottom, it's like, that's a long way. You just got to one step after the other. I think that's the best way, in my opinion. That's how I work anyway.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So do you feel like you've made it? Like, is that you or you still got more to go?
Occasionally, when you're climbing a mountain, you look down and go, wow, I've come a long way.
Yep.
And you look at the view and enjoy the views. But if you spend too long just doing that, looking at the views and going, oh, look how far I've come.
Yeah.
Happiness is actually when you're progressing.
Yeah.
People think, I want to become financially independent, buy some houses and then live on a beach. No, you don't. You'll be on a beach and then after 2 weeks, you'll be bored.
Yeah, you'll be bored.
You
I
know?
say that.
So
I
yeah,
say
for me,
that.
I'm always pushing the
more.
next thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So no, I don't feel like I've arrived. I feel like I'm still climbing. I'm still young and I've got a long way to go. That's why I agreed to the fight.
Yeah,
It's just something to push myself to.
That's what I was going to say. Like, only your aspirations for money can only go for like so long. I mean, you can earn so much each year, but like even like physically, you can better yourself. Like, I feel like.
100%.
So after this fight, would you fight again?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah?
If I win, I'll probably.
a boxing match.
Oh yeah, you're looking for a boxing match?
Nah, hell no. We're brothers, man.
Probably if I win, I'll probably fight again. If I don't win, then I'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
I know,
man,
I know.
I'll stick to just doing push-ups and you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
We
We'll
should
see.
go. We should all go for a spa somewhere. You know. Not like
I've
a
never
spa,
done
but
it
like a
before,
spa.
but I'm up for it.
We'll do it. We'll make it happen.
Have you got any
Yeah.
experience in fighting at all, like
A
boxing?
little bit. I used to fight when I was as like a teenager. I used to fight a lot.
Okay.
I've done one cage fight,
Okay.
which was good.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Did
prefer,
one.
Do you prefer cage fighting or boxing?
I prefer cage fighting because you can do anything pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
more
boxing's
damage.
very restricted. But then I think boxing's a bit safer.
Yeah.
So, I've got 3 kids and stuff. I don't want to be getting in a cage.
No.
you can end up getting broken arms and then you lose. Whereas boxing, I think the worst that can happen in a white collar boxing match is what? You get like a broken nose or dislocate your arm a little bit. You're
Is
not
it
going to
headgear?
get.
Is it headgear?
Nah, no headgear.
No headgear.
Nah.
So Messi says she worried.
My missus?
Yeah.
Nah, she ain't worried. His missus is worried. She's begging him, man. Begging him.
This is funny. I love it. Love it.
I love it. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm happy to hear, man.
No, that's
we'll go
wicked.
see it, definitely. We'll
Yeah.
get some tickets. We need to,
Yeah.
definitely.
I love watching a good boxing match. It's sick.
Yeah.
Especially if there's rival as well. It's even better.
Yeah, we've had a bit of trash talk at the press conference. Just gone. Yeah, it's all fun. Yeah.
So, like, see now, do you still take yourself to courses? You get me? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's important, you reckon?
Absolutely. Yeah. Do I go myself, you mean?
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah.
I suppose like regulations and everything change every year, don't they? So it's kind of like you need to learn something new each time.
But where do you get that information from? You get me? Because
Yeah, regulation and stuff is more like, you know, when I talked about locking myself in a room with my lawyer, that type of stuff, I'll be like, right, the tax laws are changed. How is that going to affect me? And how's that going to affect people getting started? Lock myself in the room with an accountant for 10 hours, pay him his hourly rate, pick his brain, boom, I'm good.
Yeah.
I just do that constantly with my team.
So say like advice to like someone who kind of wants to jump into property. So say like they have, say 20 grand.
Yeah.
or how much would they need? Let's say that. How much would they need? Somebody that's starting.
You don't need any money. You get started with nothing. What about that lady that brought me the deal and I paid her 20 grand?
Yeah. So that's kind of like, would you say that's different deal sourcing to kind of owning property
Yeah,
kind
totally.
of thing?
So there's two types of money. There's fast pound and there's slow pound. So slow pound is when you've got money
Yeah.
and you invest it and then it makes you a return, but it's slow. It takes forever.
Yeah.
It's investing, it's slow, you get capital appreciation, you get a little bit of passive income or whatever from the rent. That's slow. Then you got fast pound. So fast pound, yeah, it's deal sourcing or controlling properties using rent to rents or not even property. It could be a business. Fast pound could be sponsorships. Anything that's just going to give you quick money. So when she made 20 grand passing me that deal, that was just fast.
Yeah.
So if you want to invest in property and make slow pound, that's cool. You can do that. Do you need money? Well, you need money. Does it have to be your money? No. You could partner up and use somebody else's money.
Yeah.
That's slow. But if you want to make fast money doing deal selling and stuff like that, then you can do it straight away. So it really depends. If you want to invest in property and you want to own property and you've only got 20 grand, you're going to struggle because 20 grand, what's it going to get you? Like a cheap house in a crappy area of Gateshead or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's not good. Like,
You know what I'm saying? And then
that's
you're
what
gonna
I mean. It's like,
and then you're gonna buy a house, put down 20 grand, and with your stamp duty and all that, rent it for 500 quid. After you paid your mortgage, your maintenance, you're left with 100 quid a month. So it's a bit rubbish.
So
yeah.
would you start off buying and selling or rent? If you're starting, what would you advise?
Or would you deal source first before you kind of start?
But deal source, I feel like you need to be lucky. No?
Nah, man.
But I'm old school, you get me? So I'm still learning like the new ways, like deal
So
source.
if someone was looking for like a pub, for instance, and you came to like, he's going to look pretty much the same place as the deal source, isn't he?
Yeah.
Nah. Let me explain, right? So if you got someone that's looking for an investment, like let's say they're looking to buy a pub, or they're looking to buy a rundown house that they could turn into apartments, or they're looking for a commercial property they can invest, whatever they're looking for, right? What you do is this. You find people like that, and they're everywhere. These are investors. Investors like that generally don't have much time because they're doctors, they're lawyers, or they've got development companies. They don't got much time. And you say to them, what exactly are you looking for? And you write it down. Tell me more. What exactly are you looking for? Cool. If I can find you something like that, a property that's 20% below market value, that's got potential to split into flats, blah, 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 whatever it was they said, would you be prepared to pay me a finder's fee of 2% of the purchase price?
Right.
2% of the purchase price is nothing. They'll pay more than that on stamp duty. But 2% of the purchase price, if it's an average house, 300 grand, that's 6 grand.
Yeah.
If they're happy to pay you, then what you do is you're going to say, okay, if you pay me £1,000 now, I will go and find you exactly what you're looking for. If I don't find anything in 6 weeks, I'll give you your £1,000 back. If I find something that you like in the next 6 weeks and you want to buy, you can top up the difference. Take the £1,000. Now you've got pressure. Now you've got to go find that house. You're going to now be searching everywhere. Facebook, Marketplace, going networking, agents, and find deals. They haven't got the time to go out searching in the rain, booking viewings. They ain't got time to do that. They'll rather just pay someone $6,000 to do it because they're rich.
Yeah. So you kind of target in let's say like upper
He's
class,
changed your mind,
rich.
didn't it? The way you're watching him.
So they're kind of like the rich. You're kind of targeting really.
What you're doing is you're standing in between. You're finding out where the money's flowing and standing in the middle.
Right, okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
And people do this all the time with cheap stuff, buying, selling, or they'll do it with cars, buy cars and sell bits. But property is where the money's at.
Yeah.
It's single-handedly the most expensive thing that most people will ever buy. So you're standing in the way, getting a small percentage. Just makes sense.
Yeah.
And I pay deal sources all the time to find me deals.
I
So
suppose if you find it quick and you it's there and you've got what you want.
and
you're
at the same
prepared to
time,
pay that.
and at the same time, you're learning.
Yeah.
If you're getting started and you start deal sourcing, you're getting all the connections with the estate agents.
Yeah.
You're getting all the learning. And then after you've done that a few times, $6,000, $10,000, $5,000, now it's like, now I'm going to start doing it myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to find a deal I want to keep. And then you use the money and you buy something yourself.
It's interesting because I've only dipped my toe in it kind of thing.
Yeah.
With stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Another
it's
thing
kind
I'll
I've
say
had
is
a
this.
few people hit me up, few
Deal
deal
sources.
sources.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the deals they were giving me, like, I could get it better. You get me cheaper.
So
But-
they're bad deal sources.
Yeah.
They're finding stuff that you're like, that's not even a good deal.
Yeah.
To be a deal source, you need 4 things. You need deals, you need investors, you need contracts, and you need work ethic.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah. And but the thing is, if you do 1 deal a month, that will replace an average job.
Yeah. And it's getting
Anyone can do 1 deal a month. I
think
got
it's
dropped
getting-
in London in my underpants as a social experiment.
I actually saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
there we
really
go.
good. That was really
And
good.
I was fat at the time, so it was really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got dropped in London in my
With
underpants
nothing and then
with
kind
nothing.
of-
No mobile phone, no laptop, no connections, no nothing. And within 24 hours, I was fully dressed with a mobile phone and with £3,000 in my hand from a deal that I packaged and sold.
I saw the other one as well. Were you doing interviews? Are you doing interviews in the street?
Yeah.
They were quite funny.
Showing people how things can happen quickly.
Yeah.
Because everyone messes around. Property takes forever. Hiring staff takes forever. I was getting frustrated with my staff. I was saying we need to hire someone to help with the customer service. And about 4 weeks later, I was like, what's going on? Oh, well, we've had 472 applications from Indeed and we're going through them at the moment. I was like, nah, I'm going to London. I'm going to hire someone today. I'm tired of this nonsense. So I went to London and I got a sign that said hiring now. And people were coming up to me in the street.
Do you know what? I'd way prefer to do that as well.
It's fun.
Because I think, as much as like CVs are probably important, but I think they're a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather hire someone who's kind of enthusiastic,
Yeah,
who
definitely.
wants to do the job, who wants to improve.
Unless you're hiring an accountant.
Yeah, obviously,
You know.
who has knowledge, kind of.
Yeah. But for customer service or sales or
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
was just stopping people in the street. Hey, you want a job? And this guy came up to me called Ruben, and he was like, "I'm interested. Yeah, I'm looking for a job at the minute." And I said, "Cool. Tell me about yourself. What's the lowdown?" I said, "Are you quick at making things happen quick?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Great. Go get me a coffee." He went and got me a coffee, and I thought he never even asked me for my order, man. I'm not hiring him.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
He came back and he said, "I forgot to ask you for your order, so I got 4 coffees. Do you want a cappuccino, a latte, an espresso?" I was like, "Damn, okay." I said, "I'll
good.
take the latte, but the other 3, I want you to go and sell them."
Yeah.
He went and sold them to strangers in the street. I'm like, I'm hiring him. I hired him. He's one of my best hires. He's been with us now for
Really?
over a month.
That
Yep.
is- that
Yep.
is
It was all
fucking
caught on
sick.
camera.
I love that.
Everything's
Love that.
real. People think, was it staged? No. Everything I do is real.
That's exactly when I was an apprentice doing plumbing. He used to say, "Get me a spanner." I didn't have a fucking clue what a spanner was at the time, so I used to grab about 5 tools and be like, "Which one do you want?"
Because you're not educated in what it is, but
Yeah.
you have the initiative to at least
yeah,
think.
yeah. Because if you don't, then you get a spanner thrown at you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you've got to just think fast.
And also, the kid that I hired, Ruben, not only has he been a great hire, but he's fighting as an undercard the same night I'm fighting.
You're joking.
Nah,
Nice.
he is, yeah.
Yo, that's blessed.
Dream team.
Yeah.
Literally, he was on his day in London. And then that just shows how quick things can happen.
Yeah.
Everyone takes forever to make things happen. I think that's why people fail so bad in business. You got to just act quick,
Yeah.
make things happen.
Yeah, that's so good because I was so skeptical, and kind of talking to you now, It's cleared a lot of things up.
No, it's
A
good.
lot of things. Yeah, it's mad.
'Cause we were like-
I
we-
feel
we-
so defeated, but I'm happy. You get me? Because I was
you-
like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
You have
But-
so many questions, and you're like,
but I've-
so, yeah, why did you do
bro,
this? And
bro,
it's
you know
like-
what? I'm signing up, man. 12K for your course.
There's an interview process though, and you would fail. So
You're late. That's
Is that actually there's a
yeah. For the 12,000 there is, yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
if we're saying to someone, we're going to mentor you unlimited for a year, you're going to come to my house.
Yeah.
We're going to have dinners with you every month. We're going to get. I want to know that the person's not going to be a nightmare, you know. And also, they've got to have something. They've got to have something. If you're doing like a £1 course or even a £1,000 course, you know, all right, cool. But if you're signing up for like an actual 1 year mentor, yeah, there is an interview process.
So how many would you take on for the 12K? Like how many people?
Yeah, well, it depends on right now. We've got about 600 members.
What?
Yeah, about 600 members.
What's
So,
600 times 12?
but that's the thing. It's an interesting thing because a lot of people do that. A lot of people think that there's loads of money in training, but actually,
That's what I thought.
it's a hard business, bro.
No, I know. I know.
hard
Yeah,
business.
there's a lot of competition.
And there's a lot of
I feel
costs
like, as well.
and a lot of costs. So you got to think 12,000. All right, cool. That's a lot of money, but what's the profit?
Yeah.
If we're taking them out for fancy 3-course dinners every month, I got a party on Saturday, right? My birthday party, and all of my mentees are coming. It's gonna be 3-course dinners. Do you know Krypton Conan?
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
yeah.
going to be doing a performance.
Yeah?
They're doing a performance there. I've got like venue costs. I'm running like the actual costs to run a training business. If you're running it properly, I mean, yeah. If you're just saying, "I'll come around my house," but like it's crazy. We've
I
got
was thinking of
46
doing it. You get me? Just 150.
I think
my bad
It's hard,
garden.
bro. It's hard, bro.
Nah, I'm not. I'm
And
not.
also,
I'm
not
not.
only is it hard financially, but also it's extremely draining because if you've got someone who's signed up for a mentorship or a program, that they're motivated to win and they're going to have a lot of questions
Yeah,
and they're going to need a lot of help.
Yeah, they expect your attention.
Well, they
24 hours
not
a
just
day.
expect, they deserve it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If you
but
drop-
they'll expect you to make them the money. No.
That's about expectations being set. That's one of the reasons we do an interview process
Okay.
because they'll only expect that if you didn't set the expectations right in the first place. You know, but if that's the same with any business.
Yeah.
In business, expectations is everything. If you sell somebody a car and it's a really good car and it's really good value for money, but the salesperson tells the person buying the car that the car can fly, that person's going to be upset with the car.
Yeah.
It's no fault of the car. The car's brilliant. But if they thought that the car could fly, now they're upset. And it's the same. If you're selling a program or a mentorship, you've got to be clear what they're actually getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not buying a ticket to financial freedom.
Yep.
They're
Okay.
buying information, support, guidance, mentoring, power team, community, dinners, sense of belonging. All that stuff is what they're investing in. They're investing in themselves, but they're not getting. And I say this even at a £1 course. When people come to the £1 course, I'll always say, "Look, if you buy an advanced training program, there's no guarantees.
I was
This is
just
not
gonna say that.
This is not a guarantee. This is an opportunity. This is not a promise. This is a process."
Yeah.
Would you
No,
offer
so-
a guarantee?
I don't think I would ever offer a
Yeah.
guarantee because if I said to somebody, "I guarantee that you're going to make this much money," it's very much dependent on them.
It's how much.
Yeah.
It's like if they're willing to put the work in. Like
That's
some
the
people
thing.
will just sit back and be like, "Oh yeah, this is like I've just paid 12 grand for
Yeah.
a course. I'm going to be rich."
Yeah,
Like, but
No,
if you don't put
can't.
the work in,
it is
then
work.
It's gonna.
And we do have sometimes people say to us like, "Oh, can you give me the mentorship for free? But then I'll give you half of my business." But then I've got to think, well, if they're prepared to give me half of their business, instead of just investing 12 grand, they don't think they're going to be very successful.
Yeah. No. That's a weird
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that's mad.
And the business might be doing shit.
Anyone that's prepared to give half their business away
Yeah.
probably doesn't like at least say half for the first year. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
just say, "Oh, you have half my business. Anything
Just
I ever
have
make." You know, so you're like, okay. So, and also you've got to be fair. Like even my own family have to invest. When my family want to do the courses, I make them pay full price.
Oh, no
Yeah.
discount.
No discount. No, they pay full price because if you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had it one time when I had 27 people in the room and one person, this was many years ago, was a family member and I'd given it them for free. 26 of the people in the room were like taking notes, making calls. The one person family member.
Yeah.
Chilling, back and forth.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
ends up doing deals apart from my family member. And I'm like, never again, man. Now they're
Yeah.
paying. They're paying. 'Cause you're almost robbing them
Yeah.
of the gift.
Yeah.
Because when you've invested and it stings and you're like, man, I just invested £1,000 to this. Like if I'm doing a course for £1, the success rate is very low.
Yeah.
It is.
It's gonna be though.
If you pay £1 and come to a course, because half the people in the room are just there like, what's this about then?
like a
Interested.
taste, is it like a taster kind of thing?
It's pretty good, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. It's not, of course, it's only a day.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a lot of content.
Going on, yeah.
A lot. They get a lot of people fly from all over the world, but still, a lot of people will come, I'm going to just come in, I want to meet Samuel, get a selfie.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
if they've invested £1,000 or £2,000, they're like, this has to work now.
Yeah.
I'm serious. And if you combine people like, I'm serious, combine that with a teacher that's good like me,
Yeah.
that's when you get success.
Because Leon Scott came to you.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, he did, and we got on really great.
Yeah,
He's-
yeah.
He's done well for himself.
And Jordan Hames, did I
Yeah.
say something?
Yeah,
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan Hames.
He's doing bits.
He's doing. Mate, I was sat down with Jordan yesterday,
Yeah.
and his first deal that he ever did, I found him.
Yeah.
It made him 115 grand profit.
Yeah, that's. But what was it? 4 beds?
I think it was a 4-bed. Yeah, it was like a. I think it was like a. It was just a normal house.
Yeah, yeah. It was
total
sick.
I
It
can't
was
remember the
sick.
exact
Did you see
numbers.
it?
I negotiated that for 180 grand, and it had structural problems, but the structural problems weren't that bad.
Right.
They
Right,
just
okay.
they'd lost the paperwork.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
So I'm like, this is a banger. Got it for 180 grand, and then it was all going through nicely. And at the last minute, Jordan was like, I want it cheaper. And he negotiated an extra 10 grand off. And I was like, oh, because I was thinking this is going to fall through.
Yeah.
But he got it. He got it for 170. And now it's worth like 450 or something.
But yeah, he spent a lot of money on
Spent
that.
about 150 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Because
he
it was-
in totally spent about 350, including the purchase and the refurb. He really went to town, but it's worth 450 now. So he made 115 grand on that, and now he's bought multiple properties
Yeah.
since then.
Do you think, to be fair, that was his first one? Because I felt that he went like overboard with the refurb.
I was worried as well about that. I felt that a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
as
was
well.
like, oof.
Yeah, I did feel that. I did. I told him as well. I was like, dude, calm down.
Yeah,
This is not your house, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and he was
yeah.
getting like an
can
island
get carried
kitchen.
away.
He was getting carried away. But I also think because Jordan's a fashion designer,
Exactly.
and he's really and he was filming the house. I think
Yeah.
he just wanted it to look,
Yeah.
but it worked for him.
It worked.
That's
He
what I
did
mean.
well.
Like I just bought one recently, and we spent a bit more on it to make it look really nice and
Yeah.
stuff. And it did go a long way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can.
Like, it does go.
I think
like,
it depends on the area. If you're in a cheap area, then you're not going to want to spend a fortune
Yeah,
because
not
the ceiling
terrace and
prices
stuff.
in the street. But he bought it. It was a decent area in Manchester, and yeah, man, he made it work. So good for him, and he's doing really well. I took him out on a helicopter
That was sick.
last year, and we were just viewing houses on helicopter all across the UK. Yeah,
sick.
not many mentors do that, man.
No,
not many mentors
So
do that.
are you his mentor?
Yeah,
Oh, so he's
Amazing.
like paid for. Is it the full year?
he's done bespoke. He's done bespoke. So he's
okay.
done, he's kind of a bit of a big deal, bro. He's like quite well known in that.
Yeah, yeah,
So he's
yeah,
not. He didn't want to come to like the £1 course with 500 people
Yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I did my first ever mentoring session with him was basically the £1 crash course, but 1-on-1, where I just did
Right.
just with him, and he was
Okay.
like taking notes. But he's a quick learner, and he's done really
Yeah.
well. And now,
Yeah.
he'll still contact me from time to time, but
Sick.
he knows what he's doing, man.
Yeah,
He's
he
smart.
bought another property, bungalow. I
Yeah,
think.
he has.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
smart. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
So what would you do? Like, so say if someone has multiple properties and stuff, like where would you put them on the course? Like, do you know, the tier level
Yeah.
of the course kind of thing?
Yeah.
So, like, he has multiple properties, buying, selling, and
I think it depends on what with property. It's a vehicle, and depends on what their goal was. So, for instance, if they said, "Oh, I'm buying and selling successfully, but I'm thinking about keeping and renting out a serviced accommodation on short stay lets," they might specifically just want to go on a course, and it could be an online course. Maybe they're like you, and they're like, "I don't want to be with loads of people high-fiving everybody. I just want to just get the freaking information quick now in my hands from home." So, okay, cool. We've got a serviced accommodation course. It's £995, A to Z of renting out your properties on short stay lets. Cool, and that could suffice for somebody. Other people might be like, "Now, and I want to do the full academy where I get all the mentoring."
Yeah.
It depends on the person.
yeah. All right.
You know,
okay.
sometimes people might just come to the £1 course and get inspired,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
and off they go.
Yeah.
Fine, but I think generally what people do that really want to go full time is they do the academy, which is the full 12 grand.
yeah.
But hey, I mean, damn, if you want to come on just one or two of the courses and spend a few grand, awesome. We have that as well.
Do you want to go full time into teaching or training? Would you say?
I don't really want to go full time into anything.
Okay.
I think for me, I like just
dipping.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do a lot of teaching. I'd say I spend half my time teaching.
It's not easy because it's not something I could do. You get me? It's not.
Yeah, I feel like you've got to have a lot of patience and
Yeah.
a lot to give.
So do you ever get free time to yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Last 2 days, man, I've just been in Bournemouth, just chilling on the beach
Okay.
with my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah,
I feel like
months.
it's good to have the balance.
Every 3 months, we go to an exotic overseas trip, just me
Yeah.
and my wife.
I like that.
I'm going to next week. I've got a bunch of courses that are running up over these next few days. Got my birthday party. I've got a few courses, and then I'm going to in about 10 days. I'm going to Zimbabwe.
Amazing.
Yeah, with my family, bringing
Amazing.
the kids, in-laws.
Amazing.
Going out there. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
That's what life's all about, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just
Gotta
trying to get
enjoy
the
it.
balance because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like I work way more than I enjoy, sort of.
I don't work as much if I'm with Lucy. I feel like I work quite a lot, but then when I'm with her, I kind of chill.
Yeah, chill. Yeah,
out.
you need that, I guess.
Yeah, we're all human, and it's like a mobile phone. It runs out of battery. You've just got to be
Yeah.
aware. If I feel myself getting a bit exhausted, I'll just be like, right, I'm going to take a day off.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in having to take big long sabbaticals. You know, people are like, oh, I need a month off. Nah,
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
2 or 3 days and I'm fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm really tired and I've been having like a really hard couple months,
Yeah.
take 2-3 days. Like I just did. I just went to Bournemouth a couple of days. That's why I'm so chilled out right now.
Yeah.
Went to Bournemouth a couple of days, chill.
Relax.
Now I'm fresh, ready to rock. Because I knew I had these training programs coming on.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to jump on stage and start mentoring and training when I'm like at the end of my, if I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Charge,
Then I'll be
yeah.
frustrated, I'll be impatient. I just thought, let me take a couple of days off and then I'm going to give them the best of me.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's good. That's good.
Would you say like all your deals that you do they go through well? Like do you ever just break even? Because I know properties, it's not, you don't always make money.
Yeah,
You-
man.
but
I've
like,
lost money on deals.
Okay,
Yeah,
oh,
I've
you
lost-
have?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've lost money on deals.
Big deals, or is it just like
I don't think you tend to lose like long term. I've had deals where I'm like, I was going to flip it, but the value, I'm just like, I'm not going to make any money.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit on it, rent it, make 600 quid a month,
Yep.
and then I'll just hold on to it because property is the long game.
Yep.
Yeah, man, you get 3 types of deals: deals that perform, deals that overperform, and deals that underperform. I mean, that's just part of it.
And at the end of the year it'll just balance out anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly.
that's-
And I also have a lot of deals that don't go through. The amount of times I'll be working on a deal and I'll spend loads of time onto it and I've got surveys and I've negotiated a brilliant, amazing deal and then it falls through. You know, the seller changes their mind, someone outbids me.
Yep,
And,
yep.
and that's part of it. And it can be disappointing, but in business, you've got to learn to discipline your disappointment. You can't get emotionally involved. You can't
Yep.
get emotionally attached to a deal. I always say never be at ease until you got the keys.
Yeah.
Facts.
So, it takes time. But the biggest thing is I'll say to people watching this is you got to fill your pipeline. Because if you've just got one deal you're working on, if you're a proper property investor,
Yep.
you can't be working on one deal.
Yeah.
So if you're working on one deal and you're waiting for this deal to go through and then it falls through, it'll break your heart. But if you've got 20 deals, they're all going through at the same time. Then if 6 fall through, you'll just be like, oh well. To be honest, I'm glad because I couldn't have taken on all 20 anyway.
Yeah.
So you've got to fill your, and that makes you a beast when you're negotiating. Because then if they're like trying to change the goal, but you're like, nope.
Yeah.
If they're like, oh, I want to charge you an extra
Yeah,
£2.50, you're
yeah.
like, nope.
Yep.
I'm not paying a penny extra the price we agreed.
Facts.
You're savage. Whereas if that was the only house and they go, oh, I want to charge you an extra 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, you're like, okay, because I'm so desperate.
Yeah,
so you've
yeah,
got to
yeah,
be prepared
yeah.
to walk away. You've got to
Right.
fill your
You
pipeline.
can't be emotionally attached.
that's-
That's the thing.
That's just, see, I tried to do like 1 or 2, you get me, at time, but
Yeah, or 1 or 2. If
Yeah.
you've got 2 or 3 going through,
yeah.
then at least if 1 falls through, you're cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
You've got to have multiple. You've got
Yeah.
to. And
So you must have a good team there, like traders and all that, like.
yeah, I've got 46 members of staff.
Oh, so they're employed by you?
Yeah.
Like joiners, electrician, all that.
You want to do a job or something?
No, because to me, like that's like the most important part.
Yeah,
like traders,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
finding
no, it
something
is.
good and cheap.
Okay, so basically, my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, is a chartered cost manager.
Oh, what's that?
a chartered cost manager. He's a QS, quantity
Oh,
surveyor.
okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so his
okay,
job is to
okay.
oversee builders and tradespeople.
Yeah.
That's his
Yeah.
thing. That's what he's skilled
Yeah.
at. And he was supposed to go to Saudi Arabia a few years ago. They put him on a massive salary to send him off to Saudi Arabia to go and help oversee. But he now works within my company. So he heads up, like what you talk about, the joiners and that. We
Yeah.
don't employ
just
all
outsource.
those people. We just have Ben is like a project manager, a PM.
Okay.
So he oversees that side of things.
Okay.
So we don't employ like plasterers and plumbers. And
Right, okay.
We just bring in subcontractors for that.
Right,
See,
okay.
that's where I think like I do all my work.
Yeah,
on the
I
house.
try to get involved
Like,
as much.
Like my brother's a Sparky, I'm a plumber, my mum and dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
so it's kind of like
Wow.
it is. It I feel like we make it hard for ourselves.
Do you know who the worst type of property developers are? Builders.
Yeah.
Oh, they're the worst.
They're the worst.
Oh, why?
Because they try and do everything themselves.
Mm.
If you're a builder and you want to grow a property development business, it's like being a hairdresser and trying to have a hairdressing salon. It's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have a
Ooh.
hairdressing salon, you shouldn't even know how to cut hair, because then you're going to be tempted to go and work
Oh.
in the business as opposed to on the business.
That's deep, because like obviously I buy properties, but I really get in
Do you?
dirty.
See,
But-
the recent one we bought, we did up, and at the end of it, me and my brother we said we do it different next time. I
You
feel
have
like.
to.
In what way?
Because
Really?
yeah,
This
mate,
is
it
this
takes up
is
so much of my time.
Yeah.
no,
does.
it does.
Where I
Even
could
me
be
removing
putting my energy
tiles,
elsewhere.
Everybody, if I wanted to start a business from scratch, I would deliberately choose a business that I didn't know how to operate the ins and outs of the business. Because most people that I want to set up a plumbing business, for example, they don't own a business, they own a job.
oof.
Whereas if I set up a plumbing business, I don't know how to plumb. It would be a business.
Yeah.
I'd be forced for it to be. I'd have to
Yeah.
employ people to run it.
But then your outgoings will be way higher.
That's why you have to systemize it and run it smart, and then it's passive. If you're in it, it's a job.
Yeah.
The business has to
If you go
pay
in with
for
a bus-
everybody,
yeah.
including you.
It's hard to say that to someone who's
Who does?
doing it.
I know they don't get it.
Just
I don't get it.
just like stripping the flat. It's going to
Yeah.
cost me, let's say, $2,000 to get a strip. If I do it, me and my dad, you get me? I've saved
Yeah.
that $2,000.
You have, but you've also, because you're doing it now, you can't ever do 20 on the go.
Yeah.
You have
So
to
your
do one
That's
at a
the
time.
thing.
Your energy's got to go with property.
So how do you
Yeah, I know.
scale? How do you
How
scale?
do you do that?
Yeah.
Wow,
You can't.
that's good information. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not there in the houses plastering, and
Yeah.
I can't. I've got too many and too much going on. It would be a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
When was the last time you plastered?
Actually, it was about 2 months ago.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
sick.
it was about 2 months ago. That was at my own house. We're renovating my own house, and I just
Sick.
thought, you know what, I'll jump in. But to be fair, I'm a terrible plasterer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was okay, borderline back in the day. Now, I'm not great. But I just felt like I wanted to do it
Yeah,
for
yeah,
fun, just
yeah.
to just have a go.
Something different, isn't it?
You've completely changed my mind because I felt like me going into it. You get me? It's like I'm saving money, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it's like I don't get rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
you're also saving money by cutting your own lawn and washing your own car, but you don't do it.
Yeah.
Because you know you could pay someone else to do it, and then you'd have time to work on the business and let them do the small stuff. It's the same. If you're a builder and you're trying to be a property developer, you're going to keep jumping in on the jobs, and suddenly you're not a developer anymore. You're just a builder on your own projects. You're
Nah,
on your
I
own
feel
job.
that. To be fair, I'm only doing it like for the time being because you get me. Like I'm just starting.
Mate, it's not bad.
Yeah.
and it does help to have a bit of inside knowledge, but it will also be your biggest hindrance, I think.
Yeah.
Poof. Okay. Yeah, interesting.
That's wicked.
I like that.
Nah,
I feel happy.
Appreciate you coming on.
Oh,
'cause
good, man.
That's
Welcome.
actually cleared a lot
Yeah,
of stuff.
I feel
up.
defeated. I ain't gonna lie, but I
fucked
feel
up.
happy.
No, that's good.
Nah, it's a
That's
real
really
pleasure,
good.
man. And respect on what you're doing anyway with the
Yeah.
property stuff podcast. It's awesome.
Nah, you
appreciate
know what?
it.
Just sign me up to your course, bro. Yeah, nah, definitely. We'll have a chat, definitely,
yeah.
because I do want to get more educated in the game.
Yeah.
Like I've got the basic, I've got everything there, but now it's
Need to
like,
expand.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm just getting down dirty myself. But I just need to learn. You know what? Get somebody else to do it. Let them run it while I can relax or like think about other things.
Yeah. Love it. Look forward to seeing you prosper.
Yeah, that's good.
Appreciate that. So that was episode 5. Samuel Leeds, thank you for coming. Like I said, you've totally changed my mind. I'm motivated. I believe in you. And yeah, bro, we got the food.
No, it's really good. It's good.
Yeah, it
I
was
really
good.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you for
Appreciate it,
coming in.
wicked.
Thank you for watching, guys. Episode 5.